Hello, punters, and welcome to our second episode back for the year. Jeez, it feels like we're already a good chunk into 2024.
It's going quick, isn't it?
It's a big week last week.
It was, yeah. I feel like this is my first day back in the office. Last week we were all over the shop, and
Yeah, it was a bit chaotic last week.
Yeah.
Magic Millions was well and truly on. What about you, Beach? What did you think of Magic Millions week?
Yeah, it was a great week. I tell you what, getting through those 5,000 horses that went through the sale.
Where's the brochure?
put it up there.
All right, hold on. Keep
I can get it.
you talk. Get your knee moving.
All right, I'll walk you through that. Last week on the podcast, if you didn't listen to
me
it,
see where I've gotten
Sam
wrong.
Wood stated that 5,000 horses would go through the Gold Coast Parade Ring and
think I said
go
Magic
under the hammer. Go under the hammer.
Which, to our credit, and I say us as in Blake, Benny, and myself, we were pretty quick to shut him down.
It was a great reel. I thought
Done
it
well.
hasn't done as well as it should have done on socials,
Deserves
especially
better.
like TikTok. I thought it was great.
Yeah. It might be a late bloomer, you never know.
What movie's that one that comes, the Beautiful Mind thing with...
The Hangover.
That's the
that's from
Hangover one. I'm more of
Yeah,
a
that was great.
I'm more of a Alan from the Hangover rather than Beautiful Mind guy.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
I need to find where I fucking saw this now.
I thought
But we think that this brochure that I've been getting all my information from is wrong anyway, because it's the same one that said that 1 in every 254 Australians own a share in a racehorse, which is a big stretch. But then we started talking about the micro shares.
yeah. 1 in
Still-
254, what do we say, like 25 million? So what's that like?
I'll do
0.
my
So we're
calculation.
at 25 million.
Is it like 0.1% of the population?
Where did I read this fucking thing about that? But yeah, big weekend, big week. We had DJC and Pat come in on the Thursday. Does it seem right? No.
Might be right.
Yeah.
Could be right.
Might be right.
It's around
25 million divided by 250 is 100,000.
Oh, yeah.
So that's probably right.
Yeah. 100,000. Yeah, I would reckon. How many horses are there that race? That'd be plenty.
I can't find where I saw that 5,000 horses.
I thought you said you read it on RaceNet.
RaceNet. You said RaceNet.
Oh, it was RaceNet.
Yeah.
And they've been bum steering me.
Yeah, I know.
Talked me out of Martin Harley.
They've got every single jockey listed as an apprentice, but whether or not they're a claimer or not, it's got a 0.
Yes.
So
So
stupid.
the claim is correct, but everyone's an apprentice.
Yes.
Yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, we had DJC and Pat come in on the Thursday. They definitely got first night fever. We did the Calcutta on the Thursday night, which was rigged again.
Very.
The pool was 236,000. So I think that was like, what was it, like 130 grand to the
Something like that.
to Storm Boy.
And I think we worked it out that Storm Boy was about the only value purchase in the
Yeah.
race too. Like you could have just had whatever you were going to spend on the horse to win.
And you get
Stormboy was a great buy in the end. Like, great buy.
Yeah, it was.
Great buy.
Yeah.
Great buy in the end.
Pat should have gone to 61.
Pat was a
What
was-
he went for fourth. He went for 59,000, and the other two in the market, Spywire and Highness, went for 55. About
No, he went for 60.
60.
60.
Yeah,
so he
but
went for
60.
5,000.
Yeah.
more than
Pat
those
had the
two.
bid at. Did he have it at 55? It was like 50. He was. I think he was trying to get 57.
Right.
57 on the board, and then it went to 60. He's like, nah.
It was a good buy. There probably was a little bit of value right down the bottom. He
Not
got a little
she's
bit of value.
Chiquitita.
No, I did think about him on.
But in saying that, I went through it and we were sort of in one of the group chats earlier in the week, sort of talking about like predicted finishing orders of the race and whatnot. And I made a food pyramid type of thing. You know,
Yeah.
Like broke it down and I went back through it and pretty much the first 7 home, I had all in the first
Why
7.
don't you put the food pyramid on the socials?
It was very.
People
it
want to
was
see your food
very, It
pyramid.
was very, very rough.
They wanna see
It's
your
something
food
that about a
pyramid.
4-year-old probably could have
Yeah.
made it in preschool. But it was one of those editions like where I don't think there was much that had a hope outside the.
No, there was
the
no
first 4 or
surprise.
5, yeah.
Literally, it's something that everyone should have had. I think, and when I say we all, you guys are actual analysts, so you think your own way, but I think a lot of people wanted to look around that fave.
A little bit.
People may have, like, I had $100 on it at $4, so I was really happy.
Yeah.
But I almost forgot about
Kept
that
that
bet.
quiet.
Yeah. Well, because I wanted Highness to win.
Yeah, of
because I
course.
knew that's what we wanted for
Yeah.
the strategy, and I think it was like a forgotten favourite. But fuck, the way it won.
I put in messaging Brody last night, and we were both on Highness on
Brady Nixon
Saturday.
is name dropping.
Yeah, name drop.
Brady's
My
got his own
friend
show.
that works at Sky.
He's got his own show, Brady.
But yeah, we
It's the spy file.
The Spy File.
Is that right?
Yeah.
He's got his own show, Brady.
Yeah, he's got his own show, his own
Spy File.
everything.
Wants his own show.
But yeah, no, we were units on Highness. I think I had a ticket on him at 60 to 1. Blake, you had like 30 or something to 1. And
That was your ticket to the UK.
Yeah, I was really excited. Like when he peeled off,
when
I
he
was
peeled
like,
off,
fuck.
I was like, here we go. This is
Beautiful.
just going to bolt him because
booked my flights
Stormboy
on Monday.
Yeah, Stormboy, like he was slow away. He was caught wide. He had to use up a bit of.
I
gas
actually
to
didn't
get
even
there.
know that was him that
Yeah.
was on out that we were peeling to the outside of.
Yeah, well, I thought we were going to go straight past him. And how many times do you put 4 lengths on the third horse and still get beaten by 3? Like,
Yeah.
He's a jumbo jet, that horse. I
well,
actually
yeah,
a couple of bookmakers had $13 still about after that, and I deposited into them to have a real
slipper.
crack, and they knocked it back and they didn't accept anything, and then they turned it off, which is annoying.
What
well, the
into
message-
$4, wasn't it? We're talking about the golden slipper market.
Yeah, golden slipper.
Golden
yeah,
slipper
so
market.
into what? He's a $3 chance now. or something?
$3,
I think
Is it $3,
he
yeah.
probably like on that. If he comes out and wins the Todman or something like that, which he will, that's about his price.
we need a real capitalist moment where he gets beaten in a silver slipper and gets back out to $8 and then bolts in the slipper and everyone goes, oh, duh. Like this was-
Sepoy?
Sepoy, yeah.
Happened to Sepoy as well.
Happened to a
I'd
few
like- I
of
wouldn't
them.
mind
Smart
that.
Missile beat him that day, I think. And then I don't think Smart Missile actually got to the race.
No, I don't think he did.
It was on like a heavy 8 or 9.
Yeah.
He beat him.
Yeah. But I was just
Yeah.
I was
think
just
so.
reading that they're keen to have a crack at the 2-year-old Triple Crown with him. So slipper size champagne, which on the way, like how strong
Why
he was
wouldn't you?
in that
Was
last 50.
unbelievable.
Why wouldn't you?
I think he could just be a complete moral to win all 3 of them, and
He's a beast.
the $17 in the Everest could even be worth a shout. I'd love to see him in a Cox
Well, he might be a
Plate.
Caulfield Guineas horse.
Cox Plate.
Yeah, let's just back him to
3-year-old.
win everything. He could be Gay's next champion.
He could be.
Like
Dan
real
O'Sullivan's rating, that's the highest Magic Moons winner we've had in a while, better than Sunlight, and she was
Yeah,
a
he gave him
superstar.
a WPR rating of 105.
105,
105 is a genuine weight for
Explain
age
that.
rating. So
WPA rating or WP?
So that's his weight for age performance ratings.
Okay.
So basically they give every horse a figure, and then to compare it to other horses, they change that figure to a weight for age rating. So they adjust the figure so that is in accordance with the weight for age scale. So he's a 2-year-old. I
Fascinating.
know that's just
Fascinating.
Well,
I asked, so.
I'm just trying to
it's
find
hard
the
to explain,
example.
really, but
Yeah.
wait
so
for it.
there was another 1,200 meter race on the same day on Saturday, which was won by King of Sparta, very popular favourite. And I'm just trying to, I don't know if
One
Dan-
well, Yeah.
one well, and I'm just trying to find the figure here, but like to sort of line it up, basically like underweight for age conditions, which what Stormboy is a 2-year-old this time of year, probably like 45 kilos.
Yeah, it's not. So
He's basically saying he would have beaten King of Sparta, the older horse. So
what,
Stormboy, yeah.
what we're trying to say is, like, for example, if a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old raced on the same day and carried the same weight and ran the same time,
Yeah.
the 3-year-old would get a higher rating because
Yeah.
it would carry less on the weight for age scale.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So King of Sparta 100, Stormboy 105 for the 1,200 meter
Yeah, right.
winners on the day.
And probably on the raw data, they probably rated very similar, but then you have to adjust it for the weight for age
Well,
scale.
he was friggin'
Yes.
amazing.
He was very good, and like I just touched on that last 50, he pulled away
Yeah,
again.
pulled away
and
again.
He's just a beast. I think we said it on the podcast. I heard that he's the second biggest horse in the Gay and Adrian stable. Hawaii 5-0, the only one bigger than him.
Like you're talking about like physical size.
Physical size,
Yeah,
and this
right.
is a January 2-year-old.
Yeah.
So if he can take improvement into his 3-year-old season,
He will.
He will for sure.
He'll be back bigger and
for
better.
Sure.
No, he's dangerous. He's a dangerous horse.
What about the story of how she sold it?
Yeah,
she took it out to a pub in Penrith.
Yeah.
And was it you that was talking about it, how one of the blokes that bought it, his brother's a trainer, and they interviewed his brother on the radio, or like they had him on there, like on Sky Racing Radio, and they're like, he goes, yeah, my brother bought into Stormboy when Gay took the horse to the pub. And they're like, you're kidding me. He goes, yeah, never, ever owned a horse with me. He goes, if I knew I had to just take the horse to the pub, I would have been doing it years ago. So how cool is that? Like,
Talk me through that. So I heard part of this story, but I thought that they must have just got the horse off the float near the pub.
no, she took 2 horses to the pub.
They floated the horse.
Floated the horses to the pub, walked them out the back in the beer garden, and like they sold that. I'm not sure about the other horse, but one of Pat's great lines of the day on Saturday, he was having such a bad day. He goes, knowing my fucking luck, if I was at the pub, I would have bought the other horse. He goes, if I knew that, he goes, if someone brought a horse in the pub, I would have bought the horse outright. He goes, but knowing my luck, I would have bought the other fucking horse. So she took it to the pub. She trotted around. There's Vision.
Yeah.
She looks great too. Like she
always
always
does.
looks phenomenal, eh? Like, and then she looks like someone who just doesn't give a shit either. She looks great, but like she's not trying to appease fashion critics or anything like that. I'm sure everything she's wearing should be
it'd be
$10,000 outfit.
Yeah.
But and she's out there just telling them what this horse is going to do, and why they should buy it, and they just
2
bought
lovely,
it.
Precocious types out here today.
That's it.
I wouldn't have brought.
That's it.
Yeah,
Precocious was a word that I don't think has ever been used in a pub in Penrith.
No, or in any pub anywhere. Just only in a sales ring. Precocious,
It's phenomenal. But so whoever got that in the Calcutta did well. The Calcutta was a big night. The drinks were flowing, and then the boys. We headed out to the casino with the double crew with Heath Shaw. He was a lot of people stopping him for photos and selfies at 2 a.m. That's something that I think I actually said that to him at one point, that I would never ever want to be in that position.
Well, it happens
you'd
to
get
me
that when you
occasionally,
walk around.
sometimes.
I had two young fellas, Ethan and Caleb. I don't know their last names, but when we went for dinner at the pub on the Friday night at the Cavill Hotel, we were leaving at like 8:30, and they came out. Are you Nick from the Leg Up? Like, we love the podcast.
Oh, there you go.
Follow it and whatnot. So, g'day boys.
Shout out, boys.
Yeah, get in touch, boys. We'll send you some merch.
No merch. We
don't have much merch, but
we will.
We're waiting on an order.
Actually, I reckon Smalls would probably fit those boys. They were.
We got Smalls.
We got lots of Smalls.
We got Smalls.
So many Smalls.
Yeah.
So if you see us out in the street and you're a small fella,
come say good day.
Come say hello, because chances are you're going to get a shirt.
Yeah.
A mint condition shirt.
Yeah.
I think that night finished about 4 a.m. And
can I just say, I'm so glad I went home when I did that night, because the boys on the Friday looked ratchet.
So we picked the boys up to do a little bit of content, take them for lunch, and then we were going to go putt-putt. It was fucking 30 degrees and 1,000,000% humidity.
Putt-putt would mean.
So I said, listen, we'll do temp-in bowling. And I like doing stuff like that. So I was keen as well. They were wounded.
They looked it.
Very, very wounded. And the bowling place up here is attached to the time zone.
Yep.
And, of course, it's school holidays. And DJC at one point looks at me and he goes, I don't know why I'm away on holidays from my kids, away from my kids, am I at time zone with everyone else's kids?
Yeah, that's probably where you almost sort of lost me, I reckon, with all the kids there. School holidays.
Oh, you didn't have to deal with them.
You don't touch them. Oh, not touch. Like, they're not touching.
Yeah,
or
they're not
like.
private alleys. Right
they're not near you. Like they're not your kids. Like they're not like pushing past you or anything.
It was fine. It's just
really backtracking there.
I'm not very good at bowling, so that wasn't ideal. But I did beat Sam.
Oh, so you're one of them.
I gave up.
He was the worst.
I have to say that it was for someone that was completely sober. You should have done better than what you did. Pat found a lounge. Pat found a lounge that he could lay out completely on it.
Yeah.
And would sleep, and then we'd say, Pat, your turn. He would sit bolt upright like the Undertaker.
Yeah.
Walk out, bowl a strike, and then just go lay back down.
But
He
he
told me
won.
that he was bowling strikes, so he didn't have to bowl twice.
But he didn't even when he would just push the ball like that, it would nearly go. It would do well.
He's very powerful, Pat. There's a lot of power behind him.
Yeah.
A lot of anger.
I've got a mate that he's probably like the worst 10-pin bowler I've ever seen. Like for like a fully developed 24-year-old male.
Yeah.
To bowl pies like he does, it's like, have you never played this sport before? But then there's blokes that mates with that they're like Pat, where every bowl is just a rocket.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
I was throwing him down.
No in
They just
between.
weren't going straight.
Yeah, I think I've got this. My balls go down very fast, but they're erratic.
The first one you did was when you forget to let go.
Oh, yeah.
It nearly goes through the roof. That was the first one. The bang when it landed back on earth woke everyone up.
Like the old Wii Sports when you forget to let go of the B button.
Yeah, that was a bit of Wii Sports about it. But yeah, so we did that Friday, and then we went out. We dropped the boys back off because they were just shocking. Blake and I went to our respective homes, did a bit more work. I had a little snooze as well, to be honest with you, because it was a late night. And I'm not on holidays, so in the morning all my kids are there, so no sleep in for me. And then we went out to the Sporting Globe at Robina. We did a night out there. It was cranking.
The Sporting Globe is a great place.
It was
I really
pumping.
enjoyed that.
I need to get to the one in Brisbane more often, I think.
Well, Benny was with us, and he said that there's like 3 near his house, and they're all shit.
Right.
So maybe it's just this
Maybe
one,
it's
like
just
it's a
Robina.
new one,
It
and
goes well.
had
good-
live
good
music.
spot.
They had some R&B.
Oh, they had there was a couple of Islander boys up there just banging out hits.
Yeah, nice.
The crowd was digging it. But I had a 1 kilo meat board,
Oh yeah.
and it did me.
It
ruined me for Saturday.
I felt like last time I had that, it was a bit meaty, and I can see why.
I'm telling you now.
Nice, succulent, juicy.
I feel like last time we
Steak.
had it, we had 2 different types of wings or something like that, and there was only like 3 of each, 4 of each.
Yeah.
There would have been 30 wings on this board. The boys probably had 10 of them, and I had the other 20 plus full rack of
You're
ribs,
the only
things like
one that had the 1 kilo meat.
Yeah, I was
No,
surprised
no.
at that.
Dude,
Yeah.
somebody else. No, Pat had.
Nah, different platter.
Oh, yeah, different one, but he got a big board as well.
Yeah, but his was like a lot cheaper and just not as much meat.
500 gram meat.
So, yeah. The Wimps one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and then we've rocked up here Saturday to do work, and I've been cast ever since.
You have been battling.
You haven't seen me like that, have you? I don't. I usually can
that's
push
sad.
through.
Yeah, that's sad.
Especially if there's grog involved. I just drink through it and
Yeah.
just get back on the other side of it. But couldn't do it.
He was a bit sooky.
a little bit.
I would have pushed through.
I wouldn't
would've just-
Suki. I fucking. You wouldn't have
just-
come.
I would have
You wouldn't have turned up.
I
would
would
you?
have started back
Nick,
up.
would he have turned up?
3 hours late.
Oh, like every other thing of Magic Million. But he wouldn't have turned up.
I would have. We would have just cracked a couple of beers and I would have been all right.
Few heaps normals.
No
and
one
away
believes
you
that.
go.
I don't even have to justify any of that because no one listening to this would believe that. But yeah, so it was a big day of racing, a long day of racing at the Gold Coast.
Ended up being very long.
What was the last 7 o'clock or something?
Was it 7 or 6 o'clock our time?
Ah, it was a shit fight.
No, I think it was.
It could have been later.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it was 7 o'clock.
It was a shit fight.
You said last time.
Absolute shit fight.
And very. So obviously Sydney Bowler went cast in the gates.
Good to see that apparently he's okay.
Yeah, up and well, which is great.
Yep.
You don't usually see that end like that, do you?
No, not when there's that much sort of drama around it or
So what happened? It flipped in the gates, and they had to dismantle the gates. So they sent all the horses back, dismantled the gates, put it all together. They had to
As
sedate
we
it
were
in the
saying
gate.
on Saturday, I've been going to the races for my whole life.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I've never seen a horse do that.
Even
What?
Bernie
Do what?
like have
Get
to
the-
dismantle the
yeah,
barriers
get
to
to
get a
the
horse.
okay,
point where
yeah.
they have to sedate a horse
Yeah,
in the gates.
Even Bernie
Right.
Cooper in the interview, I think she might have. I don't know if it was just an update or no. I think she was interviewing. I think his name's Josh Adams, the chief steward of Racing Queensland, and they both said the same thing. Like this is the first time they've
Right.
seen anything like that too. So, yeah, I suppose pretty. It would be a bloody shame for Connections because the horse was. I think he was into favourite by the time it happened.
It touched favourite, I think.
Smart horse.
Yeah, he goes good.
So I think they did the right thing by sending the horses back.
Yeah.
But J-Mac came out after winning the last race, and he was very damning in what he said about how there was just half as many people as there should have been behind the barriers. Like he said, and the Turf Club wouldn't have liked this.
No.
But he goes, it's so understaffed.
Yeah.
It's so incredibly understaffed that, that delay shouldn't have taken as long as it did.
Yeah.
He did say like the staff that were there were doing a great job.
job,
And
yeah.
they
Yeah,
were
I don't
doing
think it was
everything
potting
that
the
they
staff.
possibly
I think it was
could do.
potting the resources that they just didn't have enough.
Yeah,
It was
like
a joke.
I'm
It's
sure
ridiculous.
I'm sure that the Brisbane Racing Club that they're like those guys that weren't working. I'm sure there could have been some of them there.
100%. If they just carve 2% out of the marketing budget for Magic Millions,
It doesn't
you see
even-
Magic Millions advertised all year round.
Yeah, but they don't even need to do that. Like, what's it going to cost them? What
I don't
if
know.
they had
Like 2,500.
5?
10
If
people,
they
10
had
people on
5
for
and they went
$500
to
a
10,
day.
one per horse, like two
Yeah,
per
yeah.
horse.
Yeah.
No, one
Put another 10 blokes on at $500
half a
for the
horse,
day.
Yeah.
one for 2 horses.
When he said that, though, I feel like he was talking about other stuff as well. Maybe it wasn't just behind the barriers. Maybe
Possibly.
there was a few other things like in the stalls or in the mounting yard or something like that.
Yeah.
that
An extra 5 staff members behind, an extra 5 barrier attendants would probably only cost them maximum of $2,000.
Yeah. Yeah, for the whole day. Yeah.
That's just a no-brainer.
yeah, it doesn't.
Have
doesn't
one
make
less
sense.
skydiver on a Tuesday.
Yeah,
know,
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Like there's so much money around, and I know you got to remember the Magic Millions is different to Gold Coast Turf Club. So when I said about the marketing budget, that's the Magic Millions marketing budget. But surely they can say, "Hey, let's not let the 3-year-old race run at fucking 6 o'clock at night."
This isn't the first time this has happened with the 3-year-old race too.
Well, exactly, alligator blood.
Alligator blood. Yep.
I heard.
Alligator blood was an issue with the M1 though.
Yeah, but still.
I just mean like,
What are the barrier attendants meant to do about that, Nick?
they should have had a fucking escort, shouldn't they?
I don't know. I'd like
He
to.
got an escort. Then.
I would like to know if so are they just putting on the exact amount of staff that they'd have for any other Gold Coast meeting when they've got 20
Huge
horse
fields,
fields? Like,
yeah.
do they have they increased it or not? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess not.
But in saying that, having more barrier attendants there wouldn't have stopped Sydney Bowler from getting cast. But it could
No,
have.
I'm saying it just
But
would
the
have.
10-minute
Well,
delay,
yeah,
the
actually
10-minute
could have.
delay leading up to that point where they were all loaded and whatnot, that could have been different. But there could have been an
that
extra
was
person
was
in the
that
gates.
It
Yeah,
could have stopped
with
him.
it,
Like
yeah.
100%. They could have had a horse.
But yeah, it just
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
have
be
delayed the-
surprised.
Yeah. You
I
know
wouldn't
what
be
I
surprised
found?
if that horse doesn't get to the races again,
A suit.
yeah, a lawsuit.
Well,
Yep.
It wouldn't surprise me.
No, the bit that I found quite interesting was I missed exactly what they said on the coverage, but it was to do with the horse Deep Respect.
Yeah.
I believe gallops over without
2 back shoes.
no back shoes when it gallops over, and then
Yeah.
they put them on.
Yeah,
before.
shods them at the barriers.
Yeah, so I don't know what the idea of that
Well, that was
is.
a part of the delay prior to Sydney Bowl and flipping, and then
correct.
a part of the delay once we got back to that race.
Yes, and ended up being a scratching.
Yes.
So
So that delay in the end.
the initial delay was 10 minutes to put these back shoes on for this horse. Then they've had to all go back. They've come back out, and it was another 10-minute delay while they were reshoeing this horse,
then
and
you
they've
got-
ended up scratching the horse.
So run me through that. So that was a predetermined thing that the
I
horse
believe
yes.
so.
Yeah.
Canter
Well, that's what they
around
said on. That's what they
barriers
said that in the
without
coverage.
back shoes, and
Yeah.
then they'd put them on at the barriers.
Correct.
Why?
I'm not sure.
That makes absolutely
Yeah.
no sense to me.
That's what it sounded like on the coverage to me. I think you heard the same.
I
Yeah,
heard the same thing.
yeah. I just don't. I don't understand that. And
So when they put them on the first time, they take them off again.
Yeah, they took him back off.
Surely not. Surely
I don't think
No,
they
they did. They did.
I don't think they ever got them back on. Maybe. Oh no, they would.
No, they did.
Yeah.
They did. It loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to know, because I literally have no idea
Yeah,
why anybody would want to do that.
Yeah.
So I'd be intrigued if anybody knows the answer to that question. Please inform us.
I think Jimmy
as-
Orman was
why-
on. We'll get
the
Campo
reason.
to find out. And
Yeah. Why that it goes to the barriers with no back shoes and it gets shod there?
That they shouldn't allow that, or they should. While the other horses are parading,
Go out
that
early.
horse should be off.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Agree, definitely.
and then do it.
Be ready
straight
for
away.
when they all get over there. And,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. They're just the Magic Millions. I love it. It's a great thing. I like going out to sales and things like that. It seemed like there was a lot of people out there. No, it seemed like there was less people out there. I was going to say it seems like there was more cars out there during the sales and that, but they hit record numbers and things like that. So the right people were there. So that's all that matters. But yeah, the race day just seems to be always clouded with a bit of controversy or delay or you know. I mean, it was called off last year, but remember that that was because of a leak.
Yes.
That wasn't a.
Have we had a smooth Magic Millions
No,
day?
I
in
don't.
the
Well,
last-
not that I remember.
We will eventually.
Eventually,
they'll
yeah.
sort themselves out.
Yep.
I know, like it's just becoming such a massive race day, and I guess they're just not used to it. They've had a bit of bad luck,
Yeah.
in the past. But if they could get everything in order so that they can handle it, then they'll be in much better position.
Looking forward to next year. Friday night racing the night before.
So yeah, I didn't know
That's
this.
creating great potential for disaster as well.
Running 6
because
races the night before.
That'll be like they're not getting it right now.
Explain it, and then we can talk about it.
So they'll have lights by this time next year at the track, and there's going to be a meeting on the Friday night. I believe a $3 million slot race for 3-year-olds over 1,200 metres on the Friday night.
Yeah.
Which I can't see how that's going to work properly because you look at the 3-year-old Guineas field this year. My query with most of them was them running a strong 1,400.
Yeah, 1,400.
So if I'm an owner of one of those horses that I'm going, I can run in a $3 million 1,400 metre race and maybe not run the trip, or I can run on the Friday night in a slot over 1,200.
1,200, yeah.
I'm doing that every day of the week.
What's the slot rate? Isn't it 2 million as well?
3 million, I believe.
It's 3 million as well.
I think
So it's the
they're
same
both 3
prize
million. So
So they're pulling horses
from their own
from
Guineas.
their own pool.
Yeah,
Like
I don't know where they're going
that
to come
doesn't
from
make
because
sense.
that makes no sense.
They'll have to have some sort of country eligibility or something like that.
I think the slots are up for auction at the moment.
It
and
makes zero sense. Zero
Yeah.
sense because they're basically the same distance.
basically, it's not like the Guineas is 1,600 and like 1,400, 1,200. They're
It's the same.
We need to get
It's the same
We need to
pool of
get
horses.
someone on from the Turf Club to explain this to us and to everyone.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't make sense. And the Friday night, like you're opening yourself up.
I think as a race
disaster,
goer
aren't
though,
you?
I would like this time of year. I would rather go to the Friday night meeting than the Saturday.
Oh,
I'd
me
rather
too.
that be the Thursday night.
I can guarantee you that
I'd like that to be a Thursday night. Do you know what I mean? Like, give them a day for the track to get better,
Yep.
get everything back in order. You could have it just walk out from the Calcutta. Like, you could put your
could have it- you
events
could have-
on around it as well.
Calcutta could be on the same night.
Yeah, like you
Or
could have your
the other
events
thing, like
on
you
around
make
it.
the races on the make it the Thursday night. Make like race one like 3:30, 4 o'clock kind of thing, and
Yeah.
have it wrapped up by 7:30, and then the Calcutta rolls straight into that.
Yeah, that'd be
or
cool.
something.
That
you know,
would be
like,
cool.
Yeah, because then
Twilight
you get
meeting.
your events, and you have other events there as
Yeah.
well.
I can almost guarantee that in the next 5 years that meeting gets abandoned due to lightning.
Of course it will.
100%.
Would have got abandoned this year.
Yeah, true.
100%.
Yeah.
We just have massive storms around that time of year.
So true, isn't it? You walk
Yeah,
out
you're
now
right.
and it's 100% humidity and lighting.
touch
Oh,
wood,
you
that
would?
doesn't happen.
Yeah,
But
I was going to say, but that would be $1.10 odds.
Oh, yeah, and
yeah.
then they'll have to put 14 races on the Saturday.
And if there's a delay, we're watching
Yeah.
the last race at Gold Coast at 11
Hey,
o'clock
at least
at
they've
night.
got lights.
Yeah, they can go all during the night.
yeah,
Just have the double header.
yeah.
So what is your, like, taking it all into account, what would you give me like a pass mark, A, B, C. What would you grade Magic Millions this year? I know we went out at the races and like we said, the race is hard to go to because it's a fucking, they
Is it
fit.
a combination between the sales and the...
The whole thing, you as a,
The
like,
week.
would you get, like, if you were telling a mate to come up here, how would you say?
Oh,
like,
yeah, it's
it
a
was
great week. Like, I think I'd give, like...
I'm going
I
to give
think
it a
it's
B
a great
plus this year.
Yeah, I think I'm the same. Probably just a B for
I
me.
think it's a great week, but like, between the race meeting and the sales, I would say I'd give it like a C plus.
Yeah.
But, like, if you...
The atmosphere
If you
and-
put everything in, like, if you put the loose moose and you put moo-moos and...
All places you didn't
Like-
go to this year. But
Didn't go there this year. No, but like if you put like if you put all the people coming to
Yeah.
You should come because everybody comes to the Gold Coast at that time of the year, and it is
Yeah.
a bloody good atmosphere.
You can go
up
to
here.
the barrier draw
It's a
on
good
a
vibe.
Tuesday morning and the beach race. And
Yeah.
if you're a rugby league fan, you can have Billy Slater 10 metres away from you. You can go to the Calcutta and you can be at the
Me
urinal
and
next to
Cam,
Cameron Smith.
Me and
like,
Cam shaking them together.
yeah, like it, and like the rate, you don't have like. We didn't get to the sales as much as we probably would have liked, unfortunately. But like, all the big dogs are around. Like you can be standing there, and Gay Waterhouse will walk past.
And Gay always smiles. If you lock
Yeah.
eyes with her, she'll smile at you
She'll
and
give
say
you,
hello.
yeah, that's right. So,
yeah, it is. If you're
It's
a
a-
racing fan,
Yeah.
it's probably the best place to be.
and especially like if you've got a few mates that come up, like it's a great weekend because you're at the beach, it's hot. You know,
Yeah.
you sit in the pool, go for a swim, have a few beers. Like
Yeah.
it's a good time to be. on
Ease
the Gold
yourself
Coast.
into the week, though.
and you
guys.
get
Yes.
to catch up with friends.
Yeah.
Like if
Yeah.
there was one meeting that you were gonna, if there was one week that you were going to go to a destination,
Yep.
I reckon this is it because
Yeah.
you just
And the fact
see
that-
all your friends.
The fact that the race day is so casual too, like you don't have to tog up in your suit,
Yes.
and your tie and whatnot. Like you can literally get a GA ticket for, if you're prepared, $25, the
Yeah.
early bird ones, and cruise around in thongs and a party shirt all day.
Yeah,
like
shorts
it's not.
and yeah.
It's just like going to the pub or some mate's backyard for a barbecue. Like that's kind of
Yeah.
the vibe. Mate's house, it fits 20,000 people in the backyard and no food and four toilets. But but yeah,
It's GA.
yeah. Yeah.
No, it's definitely worth coming to, guys. I've had a little squiz at the racing this weekend.
There's not much going on. But
dire.
there are winners. It's not dire.
It is
It's
dire.
It's bloody.
It's not a, is there a stakes race?
You're just
Not on the
spoiled.
East Coast. I think
Spoiled.
maybe a listed race in Perth or something with
Well, that
horses
doesn't
I've
count.
never
Yeah, I am
heard of.
spoiled.
Yeah.
It's the sport of kings, and I'm a
Spoiled.
king.
You're spoiled. No, but
We're spoiled.
like 10 years ago, well, even 5 years ago, you'd go through periods like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. Now you
Yeah,
get,
you
I
don't.
remember
now you
that.
get a weekend or two here and
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, I remember that. Even when
Yeah.
we first started doing this, like there was that patch through like winter.
There used to be like multiple patches
Yeah.
throughout a year. Like at
Oh.
the end of each carnival, you'd have a lull.
Yeah.
But now it's.
I'll
1
be
or 2
honest.
weeks.
I like it because
The break.
not that it's a break, but I like the fact that there's no real grand finals this weekend because we had last weekend in the Gold Coast. Every horse up here, that was probably their final run for
Yeah.
the prep, or that was their grand final. But now you kind of just get to a bit more of a guide, I feel like, on these benchmark races and start to find those horses like Blake in Sydney. Like you'll start to see horses for the carnival come back in and
Yeah.
trialing and whatnot. And I think it's a good time of year to.
I think it'll only be a couple of weeks until we're like Expressway Stakes or something like that.
Oh, yeah,
It's
like-
all
Yeah, I think that's
That's only
Expressway
like
is
2
usually
weeks,
next
so-
weekend,
yeah.
I think, isn't it?
next weekend.
Yep.
Yeah.
So we're
Learning to
back into
fly
it.
in the light fingers. There's an early tip for your punters. No market.
Have
yet,
you got a
but,
tip for this weekend? You got a best bet for us? Blake, have you got one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got one.
Yeah, I can. Yeah.
You go
Come on.
first.
Yeah, race 1 at Eagle Farm, 2-year-old race. Horse 7, Dream Smart for Liam Birchley. They took her to Melbourne on Oaks Day, and she played up behind the barriers and got scratched. But I know they've got a big opinion of her. They're going to hopefully get back down to Sydney for the English Millennium after this. But I really liked what she did on debut. I think she had the fastest last 400 and 200 of her race against the older horses, and she was just really unbalanced around Doomben over the 1100. So big track at Eagle Farm on Saturday, dryish track up to 1200, small field. She'll be able to sit off them, and she's got a really big stride on her. So I think she'll be over the top of them.
Rowie Dolan on board,
Yeah,
390.
390. Oh, off the map.
There you go.
Yeah, went up $11.
Did it really?
Yes,
Made a mistake there.
they did.
What did you be? Did you got one?
Yeah, I got one. So this is the best bet of the weekend. This is going to be really hard to beat. Rosehill Race 3, Willie Dow. This horse goes really good, and it's one of those ones that I could be wrong, but it should be favourite. The current favourite, Gently Rolled, we're on a heavy 9 at the moment, is quite a smart horse, but I think he's more than 200 days between runs. This horse didn't debut until its 4-year-old season and did a really good job, had about 6 runs in its first ever preparation when it got to the races. It won its last 2, and then they spelled it. It came back, and its win at Gosford was outstanding. So it ran time, went to the front, set a really strong tempo, and then it still produced the best last 4 and 200 metres of the day. It's now a 5-year-old. It's lightly raced, comes to midway grade, brings the best last start rating. It's on an upward spiral, handles wet surfaces. It's just going to tear across to the front, and it'll keep going.
It's going for 4 on the trot, isn't it?
4 on the trot. It's lightly raced. It's
only had 7 starts.
Yeah, it goes pretty good. I like it. It could go. We could go pop here, but we're getting $5. Like,
Yeah.
we're not taking short odds. This is a really good gamble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
And
Winning form's good form.
Benny in members only.
Benny's flying.
He's gone bang.
Good start.
It's going well. Hopefully, he can keep it going. I'm sure he can.
I think he's one early play for Flemington is Ray Magnerio, who's also shooting for 4 in a row.
Yeah, right.
You wrote something about that. Yeah, 4 in a row.
Yeah. So I think he's won 5 from 7.
He's I think he's up about 40 units for Victoria and
Yep.
17 units for South Australia. So he's had a great impact on members only.
Can find one.
Yeah.
Not afraid to play like top end of the market when he knows there, but like all those ones that he's had 9 or 10 units on at around that sort of $2, $2.50 quote, they've all been like really well
Heavily
backed and bolted in. So good eye.
There's nothing wrong with playing the top end of the market if you beat the SP.
That's right.
No,
They're
no,
bolting.
he's
That
doing
one
very
on was it maybe Monday or Tuesday at Cranbourne that won the first race in the purple jacket. I forget its name, but go back through it and find race 1 Cranbourne earlier in the week. It was a nice win, nice horse.
Yeah, no, he's been a fantastic addition to members only, and the members are loving it. So if you're not on board, make sure you are. I'll put a link.
And for
in the
those of you that are
description.
not on board yet, we're giving away on the 28th of this month
Pungo.
a share in Pungo. So this horse is a really smart horse. He started favourite in the Carbine Club in his 3-year-old season. His form last preparation was good. It wasn't his best, but apparently he's had some feed issues in the past. We brought him up to the Gold Coast. He's going to go to Adam Campton's stable. Campo's going to get him in order. We're going to set him for a midweek race at Eagle Farm first up. We're going to back him off the map and he's going to win.
We're only a couple of weeks away from racing this horse.
2.5% we're giving away in him, and we are going to pay for his training fees as well. So it's not going to cost you a cent. The prize is probably worth more than $5,000.
Yeah, definitely.
Easily. So
If he's got a few seasons left in him, which he's only a 5-year-old, so 5.
he's 4, isn't he?
4.
5-year-old. Maybe no, he's 4-year-old.
4-year-old.
Yeah, he was 4-year-old.
He is. Yeah, he's a 4-year-old. So he's got plenty of racing left in him.
Yeah.
100%.
It'll be
So-
worth more than 5,000
Could be
by
worth-
the time what you've saved on
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
yeah, no, he's saying that's what you would save probably
At
in the
least.
first 12 months.
12 months, and then after,
And then
that's
after
what I mean.
that,
If he
you're going to
keeps
get
racing,
some prize
stays
money.
down.
And
Yeah, so jump on
I'm looking
board.
forward
All you
to
have
it.
to do to go in the draw is be a member on the 28th of this month, and you're in the draw to win 2.5% in Pungo, racing with us.
Yep,
exciting. All right, gents.
it's a good price.
Yeah, so we're going to do a raffle, a prize every month.
Yep.
So if you're a member, you're just in the draw. So another reason to become a member.
I think next month is you get to go for a 1 kilo meat board with Sam at the sporting
Never
club.
again. You'll have to eat mine. Or I'll eat yours. I'm not sure. Thanks, boys. Appreciate today's episode and good luck this weekend, punters.
Thanks, punters.
Cheers.